Let's go. And good morning, everybody, and welcome to the big table, the biggest table in Houston. It's the Olympian Table.
You know it. It's
We're
only
the two biggest mouths in Houston. How about that?
You got it, man. You got it. I'm here.
Living the dream, and we are the scream. So there you go. So what are we doing today, Mr. James? Come on, tell us what we're talking about.
Man, we are trying to survive this crazy market that we're dealing with, man. It's
What's
on
more
again, off
crazy,
again, right?
me or the market?
Well, that's debatable. I guess it's all subjective, right?
And I thought you was going to be nicer to us.
The market itself is wild just because you just from one day to the next, you just don't know what'll happen. It's kind of one of those things where you think you're reading the what they call as the candlesticks, but the next thing you know, man, it goes a completely opposite direction. And not always does it match up with the news that we're receiving because you got the news.
That's the problem. You watch Fox.
I don't watch
the issue.
I don't watch Fox at all.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you watch Fox too much.
Fox is not my my choice of a news source.
What's a decent channel like CNN? I mean, you should know that.
You blasphemy.
You should know that.
The blasphemy. CNN, the crap news network. My goodness.
You should know that. If
Come
you watch
on.
CNN, you get the ultimate 100%.
100%.
Yeah.
Objective,
100%
right down the middle.
Yeah, you got it. Okay.
Oh, the sarcasm is so thick in here. Come on. There is crazy. But anywho, but we're here, man. We're here. The market is still alive, and so are we. So I'm thankful for
I heard
today.
this morning
Thankful
though
here.
that the 5.2 million houses down year to month.
5.2. That's a lot. Let's do some math.
Can you do math?
So the houses.
Can you do
that's
math?
how much
or do you
we're
need
down.
I mean, can you do math? Or?
Oh yeah. Well, I'm going to use my calculator.
Oh,
I'm
okay,
not going to do it in my head. But let's just call it 5.2 million homes, right? Average house in Texas. Let's just say in Houston.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just say we're 1/10 of that, right? So 520,000 homes at average house. Probably about 275 now. Oh man, I got overflow in my calculator. That's how much money we are down in the market for this year, and honestly, it has been blamed primarily on interest rates. But you and I both know we've been in this position before with interest rates.
We have.
But I think primarily it comes from a lack of knowledge and or education for the people that are buying homes now. Because if they really knew, they wouldn't wait. They'd still get in there, buy something, and keep themselves on the track to home ownership. Because I'm not saying that it's the best environment, but it's better than renting.
No, I was watching one of my mentors last night, and he was basically saying that, he's an investor. He's worth millions of dollars, and he said he still thinks the best form of investing is real estate. He says with it going down and coming up, he says all he does is when it goes to the bottom, he buys.
Right.
He doesn't even look at the interest rate.
Because it don't matter.
He doesn't look at the interest rate.
Right.
And then he said when it and then basically when it goes to the top, as it gets to the top of the chart, he'll basically he'll buy as well.
Right.
He said he doesn't look at the interest rate because and he said this damn rate, this Dave Ramsey stuff is just ridiculous. 15 years. He says he'll do it over the longest possible time that he could. He said he'd do a 50-year mortgage if he could. Because if he does it over that time, then the payments aren't as much. So as an investor, what's he doing? He's making more money.
Right.
He's generating more cash flow, and he's not tying his house up and then cash strapped.
That's true.
And he said he's worth $52 million.
Oh, just a little bit of money, a little coin.
And do you know what he started with?
What?
0. Do you know how old he was when he started? He bought his first house when what?
How old?
18.
Oh. He started early.
Mm-hmm.
He started really, really early.
Yeah. And I've got so much time for the guy. And he makes a lot of sense. And when you put the money on, it makes you think, to be perfectly honest.
I think
And people get wrapped up in the interest rate, and,
yeah,
you know.
they do. They do. And honestly, so much to the point to where we're dealing with conversation about people say, oh, well, I got a quoted such and such and such, and I'm like, okay, cool. Did they send you something in writing? Because I can tell you 2.5% today, but if I can't really offer you that, what does it matter if I can't give it to you in writing?
Right.
So that's the issue that we're dealing with. We're combating that, man. So
Can I pick the first choice from our list?
yeah, man. Let's dive in. Let's get going.
Because I really, you should know how, you know, how I am as a religious freak. I mean, you know, I like my religion, and I generally, you know, enjoy my religion.
You enjoy it in small doses, very very small doses.
Very,
yeah,
very small doses.
yeah.
Yes.
So what you got?
And I'm you know, I really believe in the dinosaurs. Can we go on to the article that says the far right Christian quest for power? We are seeing them emboldened.
Sure, let's do that.
Have you seen this?
Let's see what they're talking about.
3 weeks before he won the Republican nomination for Pennsylvania governor, Doug Mastriano stood beside a 3-foot-tall painted eagle statue and declared the power of God. Any free people in the house here, did Jesus set you free? He asked, reviving up the dozens before him on a Saturday afternoon at Gettysburg, Pennsylvania roadside hotel. I seen a video in the week which I thought was quite alarming. And what it was some of these mega church pastors, all right? And what it was saying that,
You can get him a little louder.
and what it was basically saying was that America was a Christian country.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
He was saying that now?
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
we started a Christian country.
Oh, started. Okay.
All right, and that we need to influence our politicians, and we need to influence everybody to keep it a Christian country. Now, by the IRS rules, if a church becomes political, all right, then my understanding is they lose their 503 status.
If they become politicians, you mean?
If church is supposed to be impartial.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Right, so the idea is that if they become, part of their new policy was some of the people who were leading the people. I'm not saying Christianity is wrong. I'm not saying any religion is wrong. What I'm basically saying is the strength of America, in my opinion, is the differences of religion.
The diversity
and
in
hopefully
it.
we're all together. That's where we need to be, you know. Way to go, Andrew Yang, with the Forward Party, in my opinion.
Man,
But
if
you
we
know,
can get behind it.
What's that?
If we can get everybody to get
If
behind
we can
it.
get everybody on that same page,
Right.
I think it'd be a great step forward. But apparently there was a recording made of a conference. It was somewhere in the Fort Worth area, and apparently they read on the 12 Commandments or whatever, and basically
There's 10.
No, this isn't the original 10 Commandments. This is the new, what they've put out, which was how they're going to influence the local politicians. And the Messiah apparently the new Messiah was Donald Trump.
Oh boy. Who's this group that put it out?
It's a group of, it's actually not, it's a group of 5, it's a group of 5 religious, you know, these mega churches they have, you know, they're like flight planes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And I personally think, you know, when you get people like this, it's a shame for some of the Christian people that are out there, because people label people different ways.
Well, Christian is such a blanket term, right? Because when you think about Christian, it's
think of the
Christ-like,
Crusades.
right? It's you think what?
You think about the Crusades.
Well,
I mean, the Christians caused the Crusades.
right? Well, because
And that's what I'm worried about. What we're getting to, by the way, just to let you know, on this side of the planet.
But right now, you have many people that if you poll a room of 10 people, I would probably say more than 50% of them would probably say they line up or that they are Christian, or have Christian beliefs. But many of those same probably haven't darkened the doors of a church or gone to a Bible study or even prayed, for that matter, in any recent time. So you saying you're a Christian doesn't make you a Christian no more than you standing in a garage makes you a car, right? So I think we kind of paint Christianity with this big, wide, broad brush, and it's not the same for every person. Some people think about Christianity differently. They think just being a good person is being a Christian. And I've told you many times, even with your scientific belief, I've seen you do more for people, helping people, than I've seen my Christian brother in church do for people. And that's just kind of the person that you are. So being a good person or being nice doesn't make you Christian. And I think folks get into that whole issue with the ideologies and how it should be or what it is and all that kind of crap. And
what I'll do in a couple of weeks, I'll get the video.
Try to find and see where it is.
I'll find it, and it's
Okay.
pretty breathtaking. As a matter of fact, it's very breathtaking when you really look at it from just a flat, clear level.
Sure.
Yeah, and I'll find that. I just wanted to sort of bring it up because it's sort of frightening when that sort of gets into politics. So, go on, you're next then. Which one do you want to bring up next?
Actually, I wanted to talk about, because I know you like talking about him.
January 6th. Okay, good. Let's talk about January the 6th. Come
January
on.
6th is gone. Why need to let that go?
Why
It's a
don't-
freaking distraction. Anyway,
No,
let's
no,
move
no,
on.
go on.
No, you said me. So quiet. I'm going.
Why don't you want to talk about January the 6th?
I want to talk about. Let me see if it's on here. Jana Bitzudihout, number 9. Now, I don't know if you were aware of this. Elon Musk's father. Did you know how this guy's like 70,
Oh my
77?
God. Oh my gosh.
So this guy is he has impregnated his stepdaughter twice. So they're apparently expecting a second child. And I don't know what they do in South Africa. Maybe it's legal to do that. But apparently he's known this young lady since she was 4 years old. And now him being 76 years old, she's 35. And his relationship with her has already brought one child. And she's apparently expecting a second one. I think or gave birth to a second one in 2019. So they had the first one in 2017, the second one in 2019, and this is Elon Musk's stepsister. What the heck are they? We know he thinks outside the box. We know that. We know that you don't agree with a lot of stuff that he says because he's just kind of keeping his hands out of it.
He's a great businessman. He just
Good businessman.
Just needs to learn to keep his mouth shut.
Yeah, but man, why are we not talking about this madness? His dad is out. He is reckless out there. What is going on?
How much of Elon Musk's wealth does he even give?
I don't know, but they got 2 kids together, man. I don't know. That's crazy to me. When I saw this article, I mean, she's not a bad looking girl. I mean, you look at her, but I didn't hear it. Maybe it was news and I just didn't hear about it. But did you know about this at all?
No, I just thought that perhaps it's a family thing. I mean, I don't know. Keep it in the family. I mean, but it's. I mean,
Keep
you
it in the family.
know.
What is this day? 1600s? I mean, come on now.
I mean, perhaps there's something special about his sperm. I don't know, but I mean, the truth of the matter is, you and I know it's not an ideal way to lead a life, is it?
Oh no, not at all. Not at all. But yeah, they're definitely keeping it in the family. I will say that. in more ways than one. That was something that, I was like, oh my goodness. Okay, Errol Musk. That's crazy.
I didn't know. How many family members has he got? How many kids has he got?
Elon. I think
He's got 2 marriages.
Well, you remember he had 2 kids with like an employee or something. And then he had.
Is that when he was working late one night or something?
Yeah. I think they met in a coffee room.
Okay.
I don't know what happened with that whole scenario. Let's see.
Couldn't you write a book about the life of Elon? I mean,
Man,
I'm sure they will,
It would be interesting to kind of hear.
I mean, especially if you get to the details.
Let me see. Looks like he has 1, 2, 3. There's 4 kids, and one of them now is identifying as transgender. I believe they don't want the Musk name. They want to take their mom's name or some junk like that. Something crazy. Like whatever. My dad was a billionaire. I'm gonna definitely be a Musk. You're gonna be.
But the other part is, and I'm just saying this with some of the past history that I've got with some of these famous people. You don't want the life of some of these famous people.
Yeah, it's a different
That's
living.
what people don't get, I mean,
it looks glamorous.
I mean, Elon Musk, one of the wealthiest people in the world. Do you really want to do, reporters follow you all the time? You can't go get a meal.
Oh, it looks like he got 10 kids. Shut my mouth.
10 kids?
10.
He's a rabbit.
He's got a football squad.
Elon Musk and rabbit. Yeah, another one. He's got a football team.
Yes, 10 kids, man.
There you go.
Hey, I'm not mad at him. If he's taking care of them, so be it. Do your thing.
Eh? Oh, he can afford to take care of them.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But but can he look after them as a
father? Yeah, financially is more than just taking care is more than financial for sure.
Can you be around for them?
Exactly.
Can you support them?
That's the key.
Things? That's the thing.
That's the key.
And then part that I want to get onto, I'd like to know if there's any English people on this channel. But basically, it says Russia should nuke England, but not harm Scotland or Wales. And
How? 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 That's my thing.
I'm thinking to myself, how do you make this happen? How do you, it's the United Kingdom, all right? And we all know, I'll tell you what, Boris Johnson personally reminds me of a toilet brush, okay?
Okay.
With his hair, because his hair is all, if you look at a picture of Boris Johnson, he looks like a toilet brush. It's like, get your hair done. Did you know Boris Johnson was born in New York?
Was he?
Yep.
No,
yep.
I didn't know that.
And the part that I want to say as well, that I want to bring into this is, this whole thing with Trump and doing all these investigations and everything else, Boris Johnson broke COVID regulations at a party at 10 Downing Street. All right. Done a number of things that we thought wasn't proper with COVID and the way he was acting and different things he's done. And so 36 of his party have got together and said, we don't feel that you're representing the Conservative Party or the interests of the country. It's time for you to leave. All right. And you made a comment yourself the other day. That's a true democracy.
Right.
And that's the problem over here. But Andrew Yang, get your ass together and get your third party, because I really think that's should happen. But when I seen this, I was, Vladimir Putin's chief TV pundit says Russia could easily launch strike on England.
So for those of you that don't realize, just geographically speaking, Scotland sits north of the UK and Wales is south. Southeast, right?
You've got Scotland in the north. All right.
UK's right in the. Is it in the middle?
Wales is in the west. Because I'm Welsh.
Southwest, right? Let me pull it up. I'm just kind of looking.
Wales is in the west.
It says west.
Yeah.
Right there on the coast.
And then you go even more northwest from Wales, and then you've got Ireland. And Ireland you've got the country of Ireland, and then you've got Northern Ireland, which is part of the United Kingdom.
So Wales sits kind of like in the little cusp of England there, and with Scotland at the top.
Uh-huh.
So essentially, they all touch. Let's just call it that, right?
Right.
So how can you
Well,
even?
I think what you do is you need London, Birmingham, the big cities.
Well, Birmingham is right in the center, right there. So it
Right.
would
Well be primary.
Wales would definitely get it for sure.
Yeah, I mean, you're not looking at distances like you are over here. I mean, my family's from Wales, and I've got a lot of friends in Bristol, and when I go home, I still go home to see them, and it takes me 2 hours, an hour and a half, 2 hours to drive down to Bristol, down to South Wales. It's only 2 hours away.
It's not far at all.
No.
That's like driving to the other side of town here.
So this is a great way to get your TV numbers up.
Man, I tell you, if
If that happened, what do you think would happen? What do you honestly think would happen?
if he nuked the UK, we'd be in war. We'd have to be in war. We've got too many people over there. We wouldn't have a choice. That would literally pull us into it all.
Do you think Putin cares?
I don't think he cares, but I think it's a threat. I think it's a threat, though. I think he'll say anything right now at this point with this administration, because they're just kind of lax. They're not really proactive about much. They're more reactive than anything. So I don't know. Putin is Putin. It is what it is, man. But that was even. It's more ridiculous that the media would even report it as much as he would say something like that.
Uh-huh.
It's impossible.
Right.
It's impossible to do.
I've got a question for you.
Yeah, what
We'd
you
like
got?
to keep a little bit of investing on the channel. What's your opinion of the recent sort of market? Because stocks have gone up, crypto's gone up.
Yes.
There's an article that we've got on here where Mark Zuckerberg with Facebook has basically said goodbye to their, they was going to have their own crypto on Facebook.
Really?
He's done away to the original idea. So basically what he said is, no, we're not doing it no more. So, because originally Mark Zuckerberg was going to have his own Facebook, so Facebook said goodbye to their crypto. Which I thought was pretty interesting,
Well, he needs to get out of it anyway. He got his hand in too much.
He's what?
He got his hand in too much, if you ask me.
Mark Zuckerberg?
Yeah.
So who's got their hand in all the pies? Zuckerberg or Musk?
Well, Musk, as far as social media goes, Facebook, they pretty much own, or Meta, whatever it's called now. They got all the social media platforms.
Do you think Musk will be forced to buy Twitter?
I think he's going to buy Twitter. That was always the plan. The issue with it is they didn't want to give him the information that he wanted, which is with the bots, the fake accounts that are on there. So now that they're suing him, they've got to show it. So I don't think he was ever planning on backing out. I think it's just all a part of the plan. But that's just my opinion. I could be wrong.
Because it's a way to get all the information.
Information, yeah.
And also to get the price lowered.
Get the price lower, because when I come out and find out that half of your stuff is fake, no, I'm not buying it for that price.
But do you think he could sue Twitter?
For what?
Do you think he could sue Twitter for more by purchasing it at the top price and then saying you sold me something that...
He probably could, but I think this way is better.
He's discounting it down.
Yeah, I think discount is better, because I think they still want to sell. Because here's the thing. He's killing them, because when the stockholders find out that half of the accounts are fake, they're going to bail anyway. So it'll be devalued in it. So rather than him being on the hook for that.
And that's not financial advice, everybody.
It is not. No one is telling you to buy Twitter.
We don't give you financial advice on this channel.
Yeah. Although it is up and has been up the past, few weeks, but
yeah, I've had a good nibble. I've actually been, pretty impressed, to be perfectly honest, because normally it goes the other way with me.
Yeah, everything's been in the green in my folder. How about that?
Have you been buying any crypto?
No, I haven't bought any more. I've been down so much, I haven't bought any more. I just been kind of laying low.
I have to laugh at my wife. She turns around and she
Anymore. I just kind of land. She wants to
"I'm
buy
gonna some
crypto?
crypto. So I said, okay, go buy some crypto. I said, how much you bought? She's $25.
$25.
Yeah, so she buys $25. Then it goes 0.00000.
Hey, you know, you got to start somewhere.
And the other day, I agree.
You got to start somewhere.
And the other day, I turned around and said, how much have you got? She says, $350. And
You got to start somewhere.
It's down, and he said, why do I need to buy more? It's down. And I'm like,
that's when you buy.
I know, and that's when I said, Warren Buffett says that's when you buy stuff. You buy it when there's blood on the streets.
Yeah. If you got it, buy it. Cool. What else we got on here? Let's hit this this first one. So this guy worked for Burger King.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
For 27 years.
That's a lot of burgers.
That's a lot of burgers, man. Never missed a day of work at all. Ever. Always showing up to work, never calling in. And I want to say they gave this man I don't want to lie. Let me make sure. They were giving him an award. And he got
Burger King gave him an award.
Burger King gave him an award for his this milestone. But it was a card, and I want to say it was like a gift card or something that he got. He was appreciative. He wasn't really expecting anything from it because he was appreciative. He said, man, I come to work. I got to take care of my kids, pay for school, blah, 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 so on and so forth. And when he got that little award, he was thankful. But people heard about how long he had been going to work, and they started a GoFundMe.
I knew it was going to be GoFundMe.
For this guy. Yeah. Man, to date, this GoFundMe has raised $382,000.
Do you know the irony of that?
What?
Honestly. All right. How much is? I'd love to know how many burgers he's done, and divide it by the amount of
the money given.
Money given to see how much burger he's actually got.
Each burger.
Yeah.
Well, I tell you what, the whole reason that he was saying he had to stay because he's almost right at the cusp where he can retire and get the pension. Man, can imagine getting this extra money as well on top of that.
There's a lot of people that just put up with jobs and put up with shitty employers because they just want the pension and they just want the health insurance.
Yep.
And that's why I disagree with the system. I think it's wrong that you stay with somebody just because, you know. And from a small company's point of view like us, we can't compete with that.
Oh, not at all. But Burger King is not small at all, by no stretch. I mean, they're no McDonald's, but McDonald's has they're a real estate company, basically. But Burger King.
Did he retire? Because he's only 54.
No, he hasn't. I think he has a few more years to retire. But with an extra $400,000, getting collected for him, basically, he'll be set any day now to where he can retire.
I wonder if Burger King will say, you know what, we appreciate you so much.
They should match it.
That, you know what, we'll make it up to $1 million for you.
They should.
And then there'll be a lot of Burger King employees that'll be suing them.
On what grounds?
Well,
they can donate to whoever they want to.
Well, because
what are you suing me for?
Unfair treatment.
Well, sir, you only worked for us.
You're African American. Why?
You only worked for us for 2 years. This man's been here for almost 3 decades.
We'll divide it by 2.
Well, hey, you know what? We'll give you a number 3 with cheese. How about that? Will that do? Will that do for you? Yeah, 27 years is a long time, man.
Making me feel hungry. It's been so long since I've had a burger because I've been trying to eat healthy.
Don't stop, man. Do good. I need to push back myself.
Actually, I just found a nice recipe for some kimchi. It was actually delicious.
Oh,
kimchi. A lot of people have told me. My son likes kimchi.
Kimchi, rotten cabbage. Yep. Sounds delicious.
But it's spicy, isn't it?
It is. Well, they put the sauce on it. My wife, actually, she's not a fan of so much the kimchi, but she gets the sauce, the kimchi base, and she puts it on mango. It's actually pretty good. I cannot knock her for that. Anywho,
so what else we got going on in the world of
I guess while we're still in that worker world, so you got this guy. I don't know if we even mentioned it. This guy that worked in Chile. That's number 2, or Chile, as they said. He gave his resignation for his job, and of course they couldn't find him at all because they accidentally paid him 330 times his salary.
If that was me, you couldn't find
and-
me either. I'd be gone.
Man,
You're right.
so he's a dispatch assistant at this meat manufacturer, Consorcio Industrial de Alimentos. He got a paycheck for 165,398,851 Chilean pesos. Or,
I'd be gone over the border.
but listen though, it's $180,000 for the month.
I'd still be gone over the border.
He was only supposed to get $545. So for him, for the month, think about it. For the month, he's supposed to get $545, and they gave him $180,000. That dude is out of there.
Absolutely.
He is out of there. You know where he is? If he's smart, he went to Thailand or he went to somewhere where he can stretch that money. Because if you bring it to America, that money's gonna be gone. He don't need to come here. But yeah, somewhere where he can stretch it.
Hey, go to a dirt poor country. You can live like a king over there.
Man, I heard Poland is pretty cheap. But yeah, he'd have to get on a plane. I don't know if they're looking for him. Apparently when they found out about it, he agreed to go to the bank the next day to give it back.
Oh, he did? He gave you back?
Oh no, he agreed to, but after that he kept that money and turned his phone off and has been in the wind as far as I understand. And he resigned, of course. I think I told you that. I think he resigned from that. So
Resigned? I think he's retired.
yeah, he's on the run. He's definitely on the run.
Hey, he has enough money to change his name.
He does. But yeah, I thought that was pretty funny to hear that.
Yeah. Go to number 8. I want to know what you think it is.
Oh God. Oh God.
What's oh God?
Bezos.
Jeff Bezos.
Uh-oh. What is he doing? Oh, is he ruining neighborhoods?
What he's doing, his plan is to go out there, build homes, and then basically start to push them out as single family rental offerings.
But he's renting that. So okay, so you brought it to my attention. That neighborhood down south of me.
Correct.
Orchard, whatever it's called.
Let me explain to everybody on the channel. Okay, we have 2 offices, one in Houston and we have one south of Houston in a wonderful little city called Lake Jackson. It really is wonderful. And driving down 288 to the right hand side, there's a new little community. I don't know what it's called, and it's literally like a new community, but it says to be leased, and all the houses on there are to be leased.
I was trying to find
And I actually pulled over to the side and counted the number of houses, and there was 34 houses in this little community.
But they're brand new homes.
Brand new homes to be leased, and it was just south of where you live, around Iowa Colony.
Sun Creek Estates.
Is that what it is?
That's the name of it. Yeah, Sun Creek Estates.
So,
Brand new homes.
Mr. Lone Man, what's your sort of feeling on that?
Well, I wouldn't want it for my neighborhood, quite frankly.
For what reason?
Well, for one, statistically, homeowners take better care of their homes, their properties, so on and so forth.
than investors.
than investors will, right? Because the investor just wants to get the property rented. They don't really care.
And the part that I want to sort of back that up with is there's been a lot of people that have come into this and think that investing in real estate is easy,
They really do.
and they end up losing their pants. Zillow is a typical example of Zillow offers, and they think that, then they lost millions.
They do.
Trying to flip properties
And it's not. You come into a market like this, and you'll end up, especially when the halt and the pullback, those 522,000 homes that we're talking about earlier, takes place almost like that. It's like, oh shoot, people aren't buying. Now you're holding all these properties. Most of them probably have some mortgages on them still, because you're not paying cash for all of them if you're smart. But you got these payments. So this is when they start renting all of them. Start renting the property. So yeah, you have neighborhoods like this, man. There was a section, Carrillo is another one that I think we talked about, that would come in and buy these properties. Yeah, they buy these properties and they rent them all out. I understand what they're doing.
And they have communities.
Yes, around. I understand what they're doing, but it doesn't help, because the investors don't care for the properties as well. And that's no knock on people needing to get into homes.
And I think part of the
but it
problem is
happens.
when somebody goes into a community like that, I think it'd be interesting to do the statistics to see how long they actually stay within that community.
Right.
Whether they stay there for a 1-year lease, if they even complete a 1-year lease, and also what the eviction rate would be. Them are the people that you really want in a community. But apparently what Bezos is doing is he's basically saying that people will be able to invest in basically a rental platform, and they can purchase shares of single family properties with investments ranging from $100 to $10,000 per property.
Yeah.
And I just wonder what your thought was. Because one, it's near your house.
Oh, lovely.
Well, those are they're in a different community, of course.
Oh, yeah, it is a different community.
Yeah, different community.
It's not the same school district, is it?
No, I think they
It
fall
wouldn't be
into.
Because I know they sort of move
yeah.
school districts over.
But I don't know, man. It's I don't know. I think at this point they're trying to find ways to make money, these guys, and this is something that they're thinking will be beneficial. But
One of the.
but on the website though, did you look at the website?
No, I didn't.
So it's Oak. Actually, the website is. I'll put it into the Discord. I'm not giving them any business on here. I'll put it in the live for the Discord. If you look at the rents on there, Steve, that they're not cheap. The rents are not cheap at all, man. I mean, some of the homes that are available, nice floor plans and everything, but they're definitely not cheap.
Is there anything in Texas, or are they all?
No, this is the neighborhood of this down 288 I'm telling you about.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I put it in the Discord so you can click on that, the link to see.
Yeah, it's also on.
My biggest concern has always been the fact that, people, well, it was talking about Amazon, is that, part of the American dream is to own your own home.
Yeah.
And less and less people are getting the opportunity to, to buy their own homes. Did I ever tell you what they do in Europe? People that, for low income families, you rent half of your home and you buy half of your home.
You rent what? Half of it and then buy the half?
So the idea is at least you're getting equity in the house, which to me is on the lines of seller financing.
Basically.
But basically that's what you're doing, and then you have to stay there quite a time. My aunt, this helps me cast my mom in the UK. She's gone through the program. She went through a divorce, got with a new husband, and basically, I mean, that's what she's done, and now she's at a point where she actually, I think, I would have thought she would have owned the home by now.
Get that echo area. I don't know where from on Steven's mic.
Continue talking.
But yeah,
That's not. I guess that's a way to combat it. That way you're not losing. But see, those are owners, though, right? In Europe, doing it that way. They're not investors coming in.
Oh no, that program is not allowed for investors. But you see, part of the problem over here, and I'm one of the guilty parties, is 30% of people who buy homes in the USA are investors, and then you've got corporate investors on top of that. And the corporate investors, I mean, I'm not in the corporate investors, but some of these corporate investors, I mean, they'll overpay for the property if it's an area where they think that they're going to gain money and get a profit in 5 years, just like they are a share. They'll do that.
Yeah.
And what a lot of people don't realise in investing, sometimes you'll even buy a property to lose money to keep your taxes down.
Of course.
It's
Part of the game.
It's strategic. It sounds strange to do something to lose money, but it's like playing a game of chess. Just ask Donald Trump that. I'm dead serious.
Well, no, it's real.
He's the expert of it all. He really is. I was watching the internet, and it's a bit of a firecracker, but it was interesting. I was watching Fox, and and they was saying, it was interesting. One of the guys said, "Oh, well, Donald Trump paid $750 for his taxes," and he said, "Well, he should have fired his accountants.
It should have paid zero."
He should have paid zero.
Yeah.
And in all fairness, I bought some real estate, and it went. When was that? 2007, 2008, and it started to go belly up. It took me a bit of work to keep it going, but I was losing money. I lost money over time, but now it's in a position where at least it's sort of doing something, and generating income consistently. But it was hard to hold on to for the time being.
Yeah.
But the losses on them taxes, I think, kept me going for like 7 years.
I believe it, man.
So it's all good fun. So what else we got, James? Anything?
Well, I did have one other thing I wanted to touch on.
Here we go.
Specifically.
Beat him up again. The Nasdaq's still going up.
Let's go to number 10. I thought this was very interesting. So, this was very interesting to me. This program. Now, first off, I'm not against helping anyone at all, but this program has been pushed as a pilot in Palm Springs, and they granted $200,000 to two nonprofit groups looking to offer basic income up to $900 a month to transgender and non-binary Palm Springs residences who meet a certain poverty threshold. Now, from what I understand, and you and I have kind of talked about this too, how the programs are rolled out when it comes to helping people, and they don't really vet the programs really well. They decided to give this money, this $200,000 to give to these people, and it would see. I don't think it was a ton of people that it was going to help, but I think it was maybe 20 to 25 folks as a pilot program to give this money to them on a monthly basis and allow them to kind of be the quote unquote guinea pigs for how and if they would roll this out in the future. They're looking at doing, close to $1 million in the future, but all they needed to really do for this, Stephen, hear me out, is to just say that they are transgender.
Or non-binary, but basically
or non-binary. They didn't really have to prove anything. They just have to.
They don't have to go into a corner and sort of open it up and see if it's chopped
Nah,
off
no
or
showing,
not.
no showing your pants or none of that stuff. They just have to identify.
I was thinking they could buy a house, but
as
$900
doing
not
it.
enough in California.
Right,
They show
right.
Medical expenses. They
Exactly.
Hormones.
Show your your farm, what medications you might be taking, your last doctor visit. But man, I just thought this is a little reckless, in my opinion. I'm not saying that this isn't a group that needs to be helped, because there very well may be people that are mistreated solely because of their choice in this. But
Why do they need to be helped?
I said they may need, because they're below the poverty line. So they have to meet the poverty level specifically, but they also have to identify as
We're about
this.
to go into a recession. We'll all be above the poverty.
Oh yeah, of course. Well, I identify as trans fat. I'm a not who you think you're looking at, but I just decided that's what I want to be. I'm trans fat. Well, what I'm saying, man, not to make light of it, but this is a snowball that could start some crap, man. There's enough people out here defrauding the government. And if I can just get $900 a month just to say, hey, I'm non-binary,
You do it.
you just do it. Just cause. It makes no sense. I don't get it.
Remember what I was saying to you though, in the UK, there's in the UK, it's considered a social society, but in a different way. But there is more checks. There's not as much bureaucracy, believe it or not, for people in the UK as what there is over here in the US. But things are controlled better. Over here in the US, this doesn't seem to be the control.
It isn't.
There's no control. There's no. It's a bit like turning the tap on and it going into a bowl, but the bowl's not there. So at least if the water comes out the tap or the faucet, as you call it,
It's just running all over the table.
It just goes straight down the drain.
Yeah.
But at least with the bowl, you can capture it and pull it back. We had a tenant that ripped us off with his Texas rent relief for $17,000.
Oh yeah, I remember.
They took the money. The landlord got screwed.
But they applied for that program and it wasn't
couldn't evict
vetted.
them. That was one of the conditions. We couldn't evict them. There's so much that we couldn't do, and she knew she couldn't. It was just utterly, ridiculous.
And nothing happened to them at all. They're gone. They're in the wind.
Went off in the sunset. She doesn't. I mean, we've got a collection agency that we're just about to set on her, which will be,
I mean, good luck for that.
But that in itself's another day, another fight.
It is.
So, anything else you want to talk about?
Man, that's all I got, man. We just got to keep plugging away, keep moving forward in this business.
What do you think about the housing market as such? I mean, I've been talking to you a bit, recently about, financing and getting financing. I mean, what's your general feel that you feel that where we are now? I mean, do you think FHA is going to come in more? Because all the numbers are pointing to, I mean, what it was saying was, I didn't tell you, that 5.2 million month, year to month, all right, was saying that sales were down 5.2 million, but they said sales prices have gone up 16% over the year.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why the experts are saying, don't worry about the interest rate. You've just got Dave Ramsey talking about, well, you've got to do a 15-year, and you've got to do. That's what doesn't make sense about it.
Yeah.
What you're saving on the interest rate, you're doing away with the money that you're going to be making on inflation. And I was talking to you this morning about a house in Sunnyside.
Oh yeah.
7 years ago in Sunnyside, you could buy a shack down there, and they were shacks. And I used to feel sorry for a lot of the people that was living down there. And what could you buy one of them for? 50,000, 80, 70,000. They are now knocking them shacks down, building brand new houses, and you're looking at one just went on the market a couple of days ago, like $485,000.
That neighborhood looks completely different now. Completely different.
And if you want a home, you've got to go outside the city, and I think the Beltway is probably, I guess we'll talk it tomorrow about it, on the Texas real estate show. But it's interesting to see what in the Houston market on what's happening. Anyway, all right, Mr. Mortgage Guy. All right.
That's where we are, man.
We're
gonna keep pushing. Of course, this is the Olympian Table. We appreciate you guys tuning in. Turn on your notifications. Subscribe to the channel. Like it. Share it with anyone you think that can use this information. If you need information about joining in the career for real estate, look in the description below to contact Steven. And the same for mortgage. If you need something from me, our information is in the description below. So we thank you for joining us at the Olympian Table every Wednesday, 10 o'clock.
And come join the fun.
Yeah, come see us next week.
Have a good week, guys.
Take care.
Peace.
Lights go down.